you ever catch yourself saying, I just need to push through. I don't have time to fall apart. Or I'll deal with that later. And yet, later never comes. You're high functioning, okay? Sure, you're getting things done, you're holding it together, but underneath all of that, there's a tension that you can't quite name. You overthink everything, you can't sit still, you avoid certain conversations, or you shut down completely when something feels too close. I want you to consider something. What if you're not stuck because you're lazy or unmotivated or broken? What if you don't avoid getting too close, unavailable, but because there's one specific emotion that you've been avoiding? What if the real issue is that there's a specific emotion you've been avoiding with really a lot of the things that are like showing up in your life that you don't necessarily care for? Because what I can tell you is, chances are if you clicked on this video, there's a specific emotion you've been avoiding and it's quietly running your entire life. Let's talk about that. Most of the high achieving women that I've worked with in my business over the years, they're not afraid of hard work. They're afraid of what will come up when they're not working, when they stop working, if they slow down, if they feel. And the thing is, we're all avoiding something. The emotions that you avoid the most are the ones keeping you stuck. And it's not because they're bad, but it's because your body doesn't feel safe feeling them. And I'm going to say that again. Let me say that again. You avoid the emotion because your nervous system doesn't feel safe to feel it. This is what I learned, okay? And this is what neuroscience shows us. And so you end up living in patterns. Perfectionism, procrastination, people pleasing. These patterns, they're actually just trauma responses in disguise. So here's the question. What's the one emotion that you would do anything to avoid feeling? Is it anger? Maybe you were taught that women can't show it. For me, showing any emotion whatsoever meant I'm mad, I'm upset, or I've even gotten intimidating. But then I'm also intimidating when I'm not expressive. So it's like I can't win. Maybe you've had that experience too. Is it grief? Maybe if you slow down, it'll catch up to you. Is it joy? That one surprises a lot of people, but some of us learned early on, not to trust the good things, okay? Or maybe it's vulnerability, like closeness. The moment someone gets too close, you vanish. And it's not because you're flaky, but it's because connection doesn't feel safe. Whatever it is, you've probably built a whole identity around avoiding it if you didn't know that it's there. Because all of this happens beneath the surface. And we don't know it's there if we haven't consciously decided to go dig it up, okay? So you've built a whole identity around it. High achieving, independent, capable, but also tired, disconnected, quietly afraid of a lot of the things that you're longing for. Here's where the science comes in. And this is the part that changed everything for me. Your nervous system isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you. Every time you avoid anger or sadness or joy, it's not because you're weak. It's because somewhere along the way, your body learns that feeling it wasn't safe. And now your system thinks that avoidance equals survival. But here's the plot twist, so to speak. avoiding that emotion is actually what's keeping you in survival mode. The goal isn't to force yourself to feel every single thing at once. The goal is to slowly create enough safety in your body that you can finally be with the emotions that you've been running from. That's how you reclaim your capacity. That's how you increase your capacity. That's how you stop reacting and start responding. That's how you get free. Free. Let me give you a few examples of how I've seen this play out, okay? You say you want to grow your business maybe, but you procrastinate on every single launch. Not because you don't want success and because you hate money, but because success might mean being seen. And being seen feels unsafe, okay? Maybe you keep choosing emotionally unavailable men. Not because you like chaos and, inconsistency, but because closeness would require you to feel something you learned not to. You sabotage good things maybe not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is doing its job. And that's really the message that I want to convey here. It's doing its job, protecting you from what it perceives is a threat. Even if the threat is joy. Isn't that crazy? So I want you to pause here and ask yourself, what emotion am I afraid to feel? What emotion am I most afraid to feel? What would be possible if I could feel it without being overwhelmed by it? Drop it in the comment. Let me know which one came up for you. Because here's the thing. The emotion that you're avoiding, it isn't going to go away. But you can learn to meet it differently. You can learn to meet it with more safety, with more support, with more capacity. And when you do that, you stop living from the avoidance and you start living from choice. Hopefully this made sense. And if you liked this video, drop a comment, let me know, subscribe. And my name is Sid Scott. I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.